Big Z Reviews. Bombshell is a new drama that's based on real life events, and it's directed by Jay Roach, and of course it stars Charlize Theron, Nicole Kidman, and Margot Robbie as the Bombshells. And it's an interesting film, but something about it, the tone of it, and a lot of the stuff it does is just, it kind of falls a little flat for me.
Ask yourself what would scare my grandmother or piss off my grandfather. And that's a Fox story.
Oh, it makes so much sense.
Women are everywhere. We're letting them play golf and tennis now.
HR's on the phone because you called me a skirt.
Yeah, I gotta read that manual again.
The attitude off camera was even worse. You're a man-hater. Learn to get along with the boys. You're sexy, but you're too much work. I have a whole list.
So the setup for this film is that Roger Ailes is a douchebag sexual predator that gets, if any woman want to be his reporters, they have to wear short dresses and give him blowjobs, pretty much. And like the setup is that, Charlize Theron is Megyn Kelly, and she's kind of like the bombshell that's currently in power. And Nicole Kidman is Gretchen Carlson. She's kind of the bombshell that's fading, that's kind of getting older, and he's trying to get rid of her. Then Margot Robbie is the new one, the new bombshell, which Roger Ailes is going to bring up if she performs sexual favors for him. And it's an interesting setup for the film, but it's a bit of a problem where the film doesn't know who really the main character is. Like, I don't know who I would consider the main character out of these ones. I guess Charlize Theron probably has the most screen time, but Margot Robbie is kind of the audience character. You get to view the whole thing of Fox News through her because she's relatively new. But, like, they all kind of share it, And there's... I think that the tone of it is probably the one thing that bothers me the most. Is because they're horrible people. All of them. Fox News is horrible. And but they try to portray them as they're good. But some people like Margot Robbie seems like she's a true believer. Nicole Kidman, Gretchen Carlson seems like she's kind of not a true believer. Like, she doesn't really believe the stuff that she's talking about. And Megyn Kelly, they're not very clear about. They never really go into what she thinks. But, like, they know that they're bad people. Like, the film does this weird thing, this balancing act it does. Like, they'll have a scene where for Nicole Kidman's Gretchen Carlson, she's, like, randomly shopping, and some woman holding the baby comes up, you're ruining our country. And it's like, yeah, you are. But, like, it's also like she's, like, offended. But, like, you're not sure, are we supposed to be offended? Are we supposed to think that woman's crazy? Are we supposed to agree with her? And the whole movie is kind of like that. Because, yeah, I mean, it's clear Roger Ailes is evil. But, like, they also, like, the people that, but the Murdochs are almost kind of looked at, like, the owners of the station. They're almost kind of like the good guys at a certain point in the film. And it's like, but, like, they didn't have anything to do with it. They weren't letting him rape women. But they are evil as well. They're maybe even more evil. And it's something about it hit me the wrong way, some of it. Something, I don't know. It's like, yeah, what he did was horrible, and you feel for these women that were abused by this horrible man. But it's like, and also I feel like they want to be careful not to say he was too bad with them. Like, the actual, what they show him doing, like, making Margot Robbie, like, hike up her skirt so he can see her panty-clad privates and her long legs. Like, but you don't, like, even the implication of something that happens after, they don't show any of. And they don't even really describe exactly what he did. And they say a lot of times that, like, things that happen, I feel like they're like, please don't sue us. I know we're talking about you and we're not in the good light, but please don't sue us. And, but then at the same time, like, this film, like, most of the women have NDAs, so a lot of them, they can't really talk about this because they got money instead of having him be arrested. And so they can't talk, like, so, like, it's not their story, but they're, like, telling their story. Like, something about, and it's trying to be too, there's a couple of things of fourth wall breaking, but, like, not much of it. So the little bit of fourth wall breaking feels odd. It feels like they're trying to do what the other director did with Vice and that other movie about the economic collapse, but they don't. But that this director isn't as talented, so he can't do it. I don't know. I'm very conflicted about this film. I mean, it's an interesting watch, and the actresses are great, but the writing of it and how it's portrayed is just odd. I'd probably give it like a 7 out of 10, 6.75 out of 10. But thanks for watching. You should replay it from my head and scratching at Z over there. Thanks. This has been a Big Z movie review. Thanks for watching.